Hi, everyone. Mitch from PickDogs.com and SportsChatPlace.com here with the crew. It is Sunday, May the 1st, 2022. Got Ron Romanelli, Joe Madden, Big Al McMorty, Al Ninos, Brian Bittler's here. I know Mills Young probably going to stop by, and Jovan usually pops in on these Sunday shows as well. I know he's been kind of under the weather. He doesn't say anything about it, but I notice it in his videos. But he's red hot on fire, so I hope he does show up. He has been he's really a good capper. You know, it's like some people just say, you know what, this guy's just really good. It's like hats off, right? For me, it's not a competition. You know, for me, I only care about my bankroll. You know, it's like if Jovan wants to put me on a winner, I'll take it. Anyone else want to put me on a winner? I'll take it. But NFL draft winded down yesterday, kind of uneventful, you know, as far as that all went. I think, stretching it out into 3 days, still not a fan. They did 14 rounds. They used to do 14 to 16 rounds in 2 days. Now it takes 3 days to do 7 rounds. I do think that the first round that I liked that teams just picked. You know, they didn't use the whole 15 minutes. They didn't sit there and wait around. There was no drama. It was kind of like, we know who we're going to take. We're just going to go and let's get the hell out of here. You know, we're in Vegas. And that's what they did. And I think that was the biggest improvement of the draft this year. I think, you know, once again, you know, certain teams get it and certain teams don't. We said it before the draft. I said it all week. Joe Madden refused to disclose her friends who are scouts because she knew that it could get ugly over here. But I think once again, you look at the Baltimore Ravens and you say, no wonder these guys are in the playoffs every single year. You know, and I say this every single year at the draft too. It's like when they took Dobbins and they're loaded at running back. It's like they do not care. They take the best player available. I think getting Kyle Hamilton the first round was the absolute steal of the draft. This guy's going to be like their next Ed Reed. The guy's just going to be there forever. Probably have a couple rings to show for it. Anyways, anyone else have anything to say? Big Al, what do you think of this draft?
Well, you know, I just kind of watched parts of it. I was I'm not a fan of the Steelers anymore.
It's a tough watch, you know, even for the biggest fan.
But, you know, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so, I mean, I was thrilled to see Kenny Pickett go to the Steelers, as was anyone who's a Pittsburgher. So that was kind of fun.
What'd you think of the Pickens pick? Because he's my guy. Him and Mechie were my guys in this draft. And I thought he was the best under the radar. And he wasn't even that far under the radar. But as far as, like, you know, not considered a top 5 at his position, I thought.
No, I think for the Steelers, it's an ideal pick.
How much money did we win on his old man? I mean, it's like I'm ready to win some more on this kid.
So, and then I root for Green Bay. They took the 2 Georgia kids in the first round. You know, I think Green Bay did an okay job. So, you know, a lot of people think they gave up too much for the wide receiver in the second round, but we'll see. You know, it's. You know, I don't know, but at least Aaron Rodgers is being polite. So
they picked another wide receiver too, the one that I like. I like that guy.
In the second one or the one at the end of the draft? Which one are you talking about?
So they took the guy from Nevada, and Nevada was like
the second wide receiver.
One of the best passing offenses in college football this year, way under the radar. But they were the best passing offense in college football. And those receivers were they all sat out. They were the guys that sat out the bowl games because they knew they were going, you know, they were tremendous.
Yeah, I forget the name of the quarterback there, but he annoyed me.
Strong.
Watch him play.
It's Charlie Strong's son.
Oh, it is?
Strong.
Anyway, I'm more looking forward to the NBA draft or the draft lottery on the 19th. So.
Yeah, I think in the NBA, you're more likely to get a real impact player in the first round. In the NFL, Super Bowls are won in the later rounds, unless you got Peyton Manning, you know, or someone like that with your top pick. I mean, you know, an offensive guard or a defensive tackle is not going to likely win you a championship, but he could be the guy that puts you over the top if he's the right guy. If it's Vince Wilfork, it certainly helps, you know. But those guys. They come along only once every, 10, 20 years is when they come around. So, I think there'll be guys that, run fast and look good in their underwear and, can't play football. And then there'll be some guys that we never heard of that are just have the high motor and go undrafted and they end up on the Seahawks, being superstars. But, we've got the NBA today, and there's usually very few guys that, NBA is kind of weird too, because most of the guys that we follow in the college game are G League superstars, while a lot of the guys in the NBA, they kind of, come out of these different places too. But two good games today. We've got the defending world champions here as big dogs, not big, but sizable dogs here on the road in Boston with the Celtics plus 135 to represent the Eastern Conference in the finals. And come in with all kinds of momentum, beating up on the Nets. The Bucks are not the Nets. This is a different team. Ron Romanelli, you're looking at this series, and what are you looking here for game one? It's obviously not the old Boston Garden. It's not the same type of environment, but there's no seats directly behind a pole or anything. But what do you think here in Boston? What can we expect?
Yeah, we saw the season series. These two teams split, 2-2. The Celtics won the first two, Bucks winning the last two. And I think that just shows that this is going to be a pretty competitive series. I was a little bit surprised to see the line where it is. I do think Boston should be the favorite to win this series. But 4.5 points in a semifinals game is a lot of points to lay. But I do think it makes sense. Boston's number one in defensive efficiency this season. And, at home, I do like their chances to get the win here. I'm just not sure if I would want to lay 4.5 points. So, it's kind of the thing where I could see Boston winning the game and Milwaukee covering the spread if this is a close one down the stretch. So I guess I'd lean towards the Bucks and the points here, but definitely not a game I love to bet wise.
Joe Madden?
I'm going to take the Celtics here, laying the points. I think they get the cover. I know that Milwaukee has been strong against that spread on the road, 25-18 on the season, but they've struggled coming into Boston, going 0-4 against the spread. So give me the Boston Celtics to open it up with a statement game here.
Big Al, game one of the Nets Celtics series was the best game of the series. Came down to the very last second. The series was a sweep, but this game was the Nets until less than a second left to go on the clock when Tatum laid it in. I don't know, the Celtics more ready today. I mean, I'm on the Bucks, but
I wouldn't say the Celtics weren't ready in that first game against the Nets. Anyway, I've got a premium play. I love this game, so I'm going to refrain from really getting into it. But going back to what Ron said, the series was split 2-2. So if folks happen to join us way back when I talked about my NBA series system, it would not have a play on this one. The one I'll talk about another game that it does have a play on, but I'm not going to play this series because it was split 2-2.
El Niños.
Yeah, should be a great series. Obviously would like to see it better with Middleton in the lineup. But I still think that it's hard to lay a lot of points, and even you'd have to even start looking at the money line whenever you're getting this kind of plus money. I think with Giannis. So for me, it's a small shot on the Bucks to pull the upset off. If you want to take the points, sure, I'm okay with that too. But I think the value here is on the money line.
Ryan, Bucks with the significantly better offense and the Celtics with the significantly better defense. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, I'm not in love with this game, but I agree with Romanelli here. I think the value here is with the points and the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are playoff tested. I think they've cashed 6 out of last 7 road games here. I just think it's a one-possession game. It's going to be a street fight in game one. So I'll take the points with the Bucks, but it's just a strong lean.
Well, from Boston, Jovan is here. It's got the Celtics and the Bucks. I'm sure nobody cares there. Everyone's just going to hang out and do nothing. But what do we got?
Well, for me, I'm not going to give out a side or a total for this one. As far as the full game, but what I will say is that the referees and the way they officiate the game is going to be a big part of at least this game right here. I do believe that Giannis is gonna get a lot of calls. He's gonna force the issue driving into the lane, and it's gonna be a lot of calls, whether they are fouls or not. So that's what I think that even let's say there's a scenario where the Celtics are up by 2 or 3 possessions. Anytime he goes into that lane, it's just gonna reel them back in. So while I'm not gonna give out a side or a total, for this one, I do think if you want to take the Bucks on the first half, I think that's the way to go because I think it's gonna be that tight, by halftime. But yeah, that's basically what my opinion.
So I on this game I did a player prop parlay for our today's NBA parlay video, and I think today this game is loaded with props. I mean, loaded with high value props. I'm not just talking about props that are available to bet. I'm talking about high value props. So if you check out the betting tools, check out the player props, you'll see that this game is heavily loaded in there with a lot of really, really strong angles of props that are hitting 80 to 100% and paying out. Some of them, in some cases, even plus odds on these things. So some interesting Al Horford ones. I think I liked all the Horford props, the unders. Well, that's what they've been coming in 80 to 100%.
No, I thought you were going to say the overs, and no, I agree more on the unders.
Yeah, no, all the unders, under 2.5 assists, under 6.5 rebounds. These things are straight money. I mean, and you're getting, I think, plus 105 on the under 6.5 rebounds, getting plus 130 on under 2.5 assists. I mean, why not? You're getting plus money on Giannis not hitting a 3. These are money. He'll take a couple. He's one of those guys that takes a lot of 3s. He really does not hit a lot of them. Just seems like it, but he sort of takes a lot.
I'm surprised how big these two lineups are going. Like I'm seeing the projected lineups with 2 big power forwards and 2 big slow centers. I mean, I would have gone smaller if I was either of those teams, but I don't know.
I'm sure they'll end that way. When they call you before the game, you let them know, and I'm sure they'll maybe adjust the lineup. Just they'll pull everybody to the side and they'll say, "Look, I know we said this, but Al Nino says this."
That's right.
That's the way it will
work.
No,
they won't keep those lineups in for long if they do start I'd be surprised to see them start like this. But anyway.
All right. Well, we got another game as well. This one is, the Grizzlies are the higher seed here. They're the number 2. This is a pretty good story, for the Grizz. A couple of years ago, they were. If you look at the teams in the NBA playoffs, right? So you have in the West, you have the Warriors, who kind of have been just on this ride for a long time, and they took a year, maybe even a year and a half. Where they made the play-in last year, and the year before that they were terrible when everybody was injured. But outside of that, I mean, these guys have been pretty much near the top, at or near the top of it, And then you look at the other teams in the Western Conference. The Phoenix Suns drafted number 1 overall, 4 years ago, right? And then the Grizzlies drafted number 2 overall 2 years ago. So this is how fast you can turn it around if you get the right guys. And it's not just, the guys at the top. It's everybody else. But you got a lot of playoff and championship experience here against, on the road against guys with very little. And, this is where the rubber meets the road. I'm not saying that it's impossible because we saw the Phoenix Suns do it last year with no playoff experience, right? Make it all the way to the final. Couldn't bring it home. But, I mean, they had no playoff experience at all, really, to speak of. They had the good run in the bubble, and then they took that momentum, rode it all the way through last season, all the way to the finals. But they didn't get it home. But, the Grizzlies, as good as they've been this year, I'd have to say they're kind of up against it here in this series. And the Warriors and the Suns, dead even at plus 130 to represent the West in the finals. Jovan, what do you think here? Do you think John Morant can carry it against, 10 guys that can carry it on their back? I don't know. It's a tall order.
Well, it's not just John Morant. So, he's basically like the figurehead. But look at how they played without him, and look at how they played in the head-to-head matchups. It might be a tall order for the Warriors, to tell you the truth. I believe that this game's going. This series is going 7. And I think the over's in play in this one. If a couple of things break right, they usually tend to go over, I believe. I was trying to look up something as far as props on this game, but I couldn't find it.
I'm just looking at the head-to-head because you mentioned it, but I wonder how many of these games, because the Grizz did take 3 of the 4 games this year, right? They did. They took 3 or 4 from the Warriors, but how many of those games did the Warriors have Clay, Draymond, Steph all in the lineup, together? I'm gonna guess 0. So it's this is the weird thing about the NBA. It's like we're not really looking at the same teams, but it's tough. I think it's going to be a good series, but I don't know. It's tough to say. If we look on March 28th.
Maybe they get a little bit deer in the headlights game 1. Such a big stage. Or maybe they're just young enough, to not really care or be aware of the big stage.
So March 28th, none of them played in that game. Clay, Draymond, Steph, none of them played in the game in that one. If we look on January 11th, Memphis 116-108. In this one, Steph played, he had 27. Clay played at 14. No Draymond in that one.
It's no Steven Adams tonight too.
So it's they haven't really played together as a unit. I don't know. I'm always just afraid of guys that have done it before, and we've seen. Oh man, it's like Steph Curry in the playoffs. It's like I just hate being on the other side of it. It's like I don't know how he does it. Right? You ever see that Jimmy Kimmel when he does like the pregame for the NBA Finals? Steph's rookie year, he had him on. When he plays against Jimmy Kimmel, they have like the NBA players play against Jimmy Kimmel in 1-on-1, but he has them like tied up, with a hand tied behind their back and their feet tied together, or whatever. He had Steph like riding a tricycle with one hand tied behind his back, and he still beat him. He was still making shots, like, from the tricycle, like throwing shots in. It was just unbelievable to see, and he does it in the game every week. Big Al, what do you think?
This. For me, I like. I don't like anyone in the game, but the problem for me with this Memphis Golden State game is that I really probably rate Memphis better than other people do. They covered the spread 63.2% for the entire season up until this game. You take a look at how teams do at home in the playoffs. If they've covered the spread 62% or more, I think the home teams are 52-24 ATS. So they're very strong. If they're a good, point spread win percentage team, that would favor Memphis in this game 1. The problem for me is that they're a home dog, and NBA teams in game 1s that are home dogs or even short favorites are awful, and that keeps me off the Grizzlies side here. But I still think Memphis is better than a lot of people think they are. In fact, I had a few people contact me before that game 6 against the Timberwolves saying that they thought Minnesota was a great bet at plus 475 to win the last 2 games of that series. And that kind of showed me that, if I get 2 calls from random people on something like that, that means a lot of people are thinking it. And, I just didn't understand that at all. And I actually sent out a tweet about how, teams in Memphis's situation had won like 84 out of 87 series or something like that. But I think the public, I shouldn't say the public, I hate that word, but I think a lot of bettors underrate how good this Memphis team is.
I mean, I'm with you. And, the easiest way to improve and the way that we see it happen the most often is, the way that Memphis did it. And that is play defense. It's like, if you start playing defense, you will start winning in the NBA. We saw the Knicks do it last year. We saw Memphis do it this year when Ja Morant went out with the injury, kind of like what Jovan said. Look how they played without him. When Ja Morant went out the first time with that injury, that's when they turned the corner, because they said, we got to play defense if we're going to have any kind of chance whatsoever. And they started playing defense. The Atlanta Hawks last year, right? They were dead last in the defense. They fire their coach. All of a sudden, they start playing defense. They make a run in the playoffs. It's defense wins championships. And, the Warriors have the number 3 defense in the NBA. That Memphis, as improved as they are, 12th best, at least in scoring. But in all the other major categories, there's significant differences here between the Golden State defense and the Memphis defense. But, take nothing away from these guys. They also are one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the NBA. Memphis is as well. And scary.
And from a series standpoint, sorry, Mitch. But I was going to say, from a series standpoint, this also doesn't fall into my system. I'm not going to play this either. But the one I do like is Phoenix over Dallas. Phoenix swept the season series 4-0. I think when I was looking at the odds the other day, they were roughly 300 or 280 or whatever to win the series against Dallas. If I can just take a quick look and see what it is now. Yeah, it ranges 280, 245 at Bet365. So 285, it's 300 at Westgate. So between 245 and 300. I would take Phoenix to win the series.
El Niños?
Phoenix Mavs or
no, this game.
I just wanted to talk about the Phoenix because we're not going to be here on Monday.
No, that's fine. I believe me. We could talk all the games if you guys want. I'm up for it. Because to me it's like, I'm mesmerized by the odds we're getting on Dallas. So I'm kind of like, how I get. I like the big payers. So it's like they got a puncher's chance. The Phoenix didn't look overpowering, in their series.
They got swept 4-0, Mitch. I don't know. We can make a side bet.
No, I meant in their last playoff series.
No, I understand. But you're saying you're mesmerized by Dallas in the upcoming series is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, the odds.
Oh, we should bet on the side and split the difference.
I just like the odds, just like the Tigers yesterday, right? We just like the odds. We just like betting against the Dodgers every game. Anyways, Alan, what do you think here?
Should be a very entertaining series. Probably maybe one of the most fun to watch series. I mean, that's all going to be great from now on. But you gotta love watching Ja Morant play. At least I do. On the other side, you got another great point guard with Steph Curry, and should be a great game. But I think these teams going small. I like this to be a faster paced game, and I think it goes over the total. And speaking of props, I did mention Steven Adams was out, so I do like Green to get over his rebounds tonight. So a little prop, rare little prop from me there. But I like the over here.
Brian?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a defensive basketball game tonight. I'm going to take 2 prop bets here. I'm going to take Steph Curry under 27.5 points for the game and Jay Morant under 26.5. I think the defenses will be focused in on stopping those 2 players. And I think I like Curry under the 27.5.
It's either that or he's going to score 60. Joe, that's Steph, It's like, it's for him, 30 points could be, his first 10 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a really tight game on our hands, so I'm going to grab the points with Memphis. I just, I don't know. I think this is a 1-point game either way, and I just think there's such value taking the Grizzlies here plus the 2.5. They've been strong at home this season. They've been strong against that spread. We have the Warriors coming in struggling against Memphis, going 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. So I'm going to grab the Grizzlies, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors won this by 1.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, in this game, I do think I lean towards the Grizzlies at home. We've seen them play their best ball at home, as most teams do. And the Warriors only 22-19 overall this season on the road. Memphis 30-11 overall at home. But I also think that a fast pace and a higher scoring game does benefit the Grizzlies. And I think seeing this total rise already 5 points from where it opened up. You look at Memphis, sure, both teams are top 5 in defensive efficiency this season. But Memphis is third in pace this year, so they do like to play very fast-paced. Golden State, not so much. They're kind of mid-tier in terms of pace. So I do think if this game does speed up, it does benefit the Grizzlies. So I'd lean towards Memphis and the points and taking the over as well.
Yeah, I like all the Warrior props. I like the Warriors to win the series. I like all the things. I think you take all that other stuff that they played each other and all this other stuff, you throw it right out the window because, you beat a team without Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. It sure as hell doesn't mean you can beat them with them because they're wearing the same uniform. And these guys are just way too good, way too much playoff experience, and I don't think the road is going to be to shake these guys one bit. They've been on much bigger stages than this. That's for damn sure. And I always like those guys with the playoff experience in the big games of anything. And I could see the adrenaline wearing off on the Grizzlies and them getting steamrolled here. I would lay the extra points here with the Warriors. Lay as many as you can. I think they could win this thing by 20 plus. Just my take. Anyways, go to Major League Baseball. Got a lot of good upsets yesterday. Orioles, Tigers. It was Bittler Day in Major League Baseball. It's the annual Bittler Day. The one day he gets to get it done. The Pirates, it was all coming together. It all came together in one pile in one mess, for the Squares. Right? Squares got crushed. It's like the damn Giants ruined my anti-square parlay. Yeah, it was one of those days. It was a lot of fun if you were on the right side, and it probably wasn't that much fun if you were on the wrong side of it. But it happened, and it's why they play the games, and why we always say the very best teams in baseball lose 50 to 55 to 65 times a year. I mean, you could look around baseball. It's doubtful that all 6 division winners will have over 100 wins this season. It's super unlikely that will happen. So that would mean that, there'll be teams that win divisions, one of the best teams in baseball to have, 65 losses plus. Anyways, see if we can find some value today. Got the Orioles and the Red Sox. The Red Sox had a no-hitter going into, I believe, the 7th inning last night with Eovaldi going. The Orioles break through against him, get the hit. They go to Barnes in the bullpen. He gives up the run. And then in extra innings, the Red Sox fail to score a run. And then, I don't know, they throw the ball into the bullpen or something, and we cash on the Orioles. It was I'll take it, It's like normally you see the Orioles do plays like that, but I don't know. It was weird, but I don't care. It still pays the same. We got the Rays against the Twins. All of a sudden, Chris Paddock is a viable option as a starting pitcher. We'll see how long this lasts. And the Pirates, Mitch Keller pitching. Oh, man. I don't like the Padres much, but I think Joe Musgrove is really good. And I think if he was pitching for the Yankees today or the Dodgers, he'd be minus 290 or minus 310. Romanelli, the king of the rundown. Is killing it. I mean, he's He's our most popular YouTuber these days, and for good reason. He's all over these MLB games and people recognizing that. What do you think of these three to start the day off?
Yeah, I'm actually going to start with a question. I've kind of seen Chris Paddock and Josh Winder bounce around as the starting pitchers for the Twins. Does anybody know who the official starter is? I think it's Winder, but
I'm saying Winder.
Winder.
Okay.
Winder.
Seeing
Okay.
Winder and Fleming.
Yeah, because at first it was Paddock and then Winder, and then it went back to Paddock. But in that Red Sox Orioles game, we see a pretty rough starting pitching matchup. Nick Pivetta and Jordan Lyles, both ERAs above 5 this season. Pivetta 8.27. He is coming off his best start of the year against a pretty tough Blue Jays lineup, but I really just haven't been impressed with this Red Sox team overall this season. 9-13 now overall, 6-9 on the road. We saw what happened yesterday. They could barely only scored 1 run in 10 innings of baseball against the Orioles. But I do think this game we're going to see the offense open up a bit from both teams. Jordan Lyles really got rocked in his last outing against the Yankees. 3 home runs, 6 earned runs allowed, in only 4 2/3 innings. So I think if there was a game for the Red Sox offense to wake up, this would be it. And on the other side, like I said, I can't really trust Nick Pivetta either. So I'll take the over in this Red Sox Orioles.
Joe Madden.
Yeah, I'm with you on this over with these two pitchers. I think this one sails over that total of 8. I think it's really light here. I'm also liking the over between the San Diego Padres and the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think we can lean on the Padres probably to get the win on the run line as well with Joe Musgrave here starting tonight. I think they have a great lineup, and they've just been so strong, winning their last 4 games overall and 7-0 in their last 7 games as a favorite. This over is nice and strong as well, with the over hitting 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings in Pittsburgh. So give me the over there too.
Big Al.
I really don't like any of these games. Also, I've got to jump real quick, but maybe I can just give out a quick free play in a game you're probably going to talk about in your next set. I think Houston with Valdez is a nice live underdog today. I mean, I know it's really hard to go against Gausman, who's in unbelievable form right now, but Valdez 0.57 ERA on the road. With Houston at plus $1.30, $1.35, I would take a look at them as an underdog here. And, I've got 2 baseball plays up at Pick Dogs. I've got an NBA play up as well. So I've got 3 plays for sale. But my 4th favorite play of the day would probably be the Houston Astros. But I have to jump, guys. So I wish you all the best today.
All right. Thanks, Al, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay. Talk to you next weekend.
All right. Brings us to Al Ninos.
Yeah, like quite a few things here. I like the over in the Red Sox Baltimore game, but I do prefer the over in the Padres Pirates game, and I'm gonna keep riding with the Twins here. Take them as a dog again. Not getting as much value as yesterday, but still very live dogs here.
Jovan.
Yeah, I look for the Red Sox to bounce back, get some runs on the board. Haven't been able to do that is concerning. What's also concerning is their back end, their bullpen. Guys like Barnes who were basically shut down for most of the year, haven't been putting it together this year. So I look for them to to right the ship in this one against Jordan Lyles, and I look for the Tampa Bay Rays to also get back in their start in their game against the Twins. So
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Jovan here. I'm going to take the Rays to bounce back against the Twins. The Twins beat them up yesterday, but the Rays are the king of the bullpen game, and that looks like what we got here. I like the Padres laying the run line with Musgrove. I love the Pirates, but just not with Keller pitching. He's their worst option. I think the Padres beat them up today.
I like the Orioles again against the Red Sox. I've taken the Orioles a ton this season. I mean, it's just continue to ride them. I think they're one of the more improved teams out there. They have some good guys. I think that the bullpen makes some mistakes. They needed a shutdown inning from Matt Barnes there. They really needed it, and he could not deliver, man. It was really bad. And I could see, and I know Jovan's a fan of the Red Sox on top of it, and it's like I could see how frustrating that was, because here you have a guy who's basically Eovaldi that's the best he can pitch, was what we saw from him yesterday. He had a no-hitter going. And up until the point where he gave up the hit, that's as good as he can pitch. You know, he was overpowering. It wasn't like, there was some amazing plays in the field or anything like that. It was shutdown baseball. And they needed Barnes to come in and continue and set the tone that this was going to continue all the way to the end. And he did not do that. It was not even close. So I think the bullpen is in trouble there in Boston. And, the Red Sox now 3-7 in their last 10, 9-13. But in all fairness, they've played 22 games, and 15 of those have been on the road. So they're going to play. They're going to get, and they have another road trip like this scheduled in a few weeks. It's like it's almost unfair, right? I mean, how many 11-game road trips do we see in baseball? 11, 12-game road trips. The Red Sox have 2 of them like within a month. It's like I don't know. This is as bad as the umpiring.
No one wants to be playing in Boston right now. Get rained out.
I mean, also with the Red Sox, there's no Chris Sale. James Paxton down the line is going to come back a couple, 3 months or whatever. I don't know. But, when you have guys that you have penciled in starters and they don't start out the year, it hurts, and it hurts on your in your bullpen, more so than your rotation. Not saying that their rotation has been any good, but you might not see certain guys, as that 5th starter, So I guess I believe when Sale comes back, it pushes somebody into the bullpen, which could possibly set their bullpen straight. Hopefully, for us Red Sox fans.
Brian?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I gave my picks
yeah.
already. I was just gonna say it's smart to have Boston on the road early in the season because of how cold it is up in Boston. So it makes sense to me. Get the road teams out of the way early.
But 2 of them in a row, is heavy duty. You just don't see it. It's like when the Circus used to play at the United Center in for the Bulls, and the Bulls would have the Circus road trip. They're away for like 3 weeks. It's like it's too much. The Circus road trip. You don't see I think the Circus is out of business, right?
Yeah, Barnum and Bailey they're out of business, I think.
Something like that. Anyways, I like the Orioles, Rays, and Padres, but can't bet at those prices. Is the run line negative odds on the Padres? I don't even know, because I will not bet.
Yes. Minus 115.
Yes, I would never bet that. That's a good way to lose a lot of money. I mean, imagine laying a 1.5 with the Dodgers yesterday with minus 160, It's like you just got smoked, every which way possible. It's like you laid runs to lose money. So nothing fun about that. Blue Jays versus Astros. You never used to see that, This negative odds and run line is something that's only been around like the last 2 or 3 years. The run lines were always gigantic. Payers. They were always big payers. Now it's like
doesn't feel like we're getting the same value.
We're not getting the same value that we used to get. Ever since Tim Lincecum, man, he was the guy, right? Kind of changed it all. It's like good minus 140. Run lines were like plus 190. It's like guy wins the Cy Young Award. It was like, oh my god. we redid our whole kitchen in our old house. It was the best. It's like my wife's like, can we afford this refrigerator? Get 2 of them. It's like Lindsay comes pitching tomorrow. It's like, anyways, those are the days. And it's Kevin Gausman up against Framber in Toronto. Big Al did not like the Blue Jays to win back-to-backers. Really, I thought yesterday's game was one of the best games you'll ever see if you like defense. And it was just 3 home runs, where it was all the scoring. George Springer versus the Astros, and they were all tape measures, right? All 3 shots. The guy in the Astros, who's the guy in the Astros that hit that home run?
Yordan Alvarez.
Oh my God, man! It's like if you were trying to catch that ball in the stands, it had to have stung. I mean, it was like normally they're floating by the time they get out there, but it's like that thing was like a Dave Parker shot. It was just. But it's like you ever have a golf ball like go remotely close to you and you hear that, zzz, it's like I can imagine that ball sounded just like that going out there. That was crushed.
Canseco used to hit home runs like that.
For real, it's like that. It's just like, oh man, I think he was kind of just like, I mean, he even said it was even like basically, congratulated him, for just absolutely crushing that thing. Anyways, the Marlins have won 6 in a row, 7 in a row at this point, covering the run line all along the way too. Kind of the story. Meanwhile, the Brewers really making the Cubs pay for that opening series at Wrigley. They are really celebrating every run that scores. They don't care what inning it is. We said yesterday, Bernie the Brewer, pants are wearing thin from sliding down that slide. Yesterday didn't help those pants anymore. A lot of home runs again. They're murdering Cubs pitching. Steele only made it an inning and change in that thing. It got ugly fast. Ron, what do you think? Bernie's gonna need a new pair of pants, or Stroman's a little bit better than what they've thrown at him now?
I don't think I'll have any pants anymore after today. But this will have to be my last time slot. I got to get going, but I do like the Marlins quite a bit in this one on the money line. I was thinking about taking it as a premium. I just don't know. Usually I like to take the Marlins and these small market teams when you're getting plus money, when you're getting a good price. With the Marlins winning 7 in a row, the price is not really the best right now. You have to lay right now minus 130 on the money line. But I do think, with Sandy Alcantara on the mound, he's their best starting pitcher for quite some time now, and 2-0 with a 1.78 ERA. He Baseball Savant, if you look at his Baseball Savant page, he's really got great numbers this season. When teams make contact on him, the ball virtually goes nowhere. His exit velocity has been really, really low this year. So I do think that he has a good start against the Mariners. And the Marlins bats against right-handed pitching are right now top 6 in team OPS in the league against righties. And I know Logan Gilbert's been really special this season, but you can't deny that the Marlins bats right now are top 10 in baseball, in my opinion. So I think they can get a few runs on the board on Gilbert, and I think Alcantara has a strong start. So I'd lean towards Marlins' first 5 innings. I also think they'll win the game outright and get their 8th straight victory.
We got the Diamondbacks on tap tomorrow, so they might be looking ahead. So you got to watch out.
I don't know about those Diamondbacks. They've been money-making machines.
Oh, they've been a cash cow.
Yep.
Beating the Dodgers twice and the Cardinals,
Twice.
I mean, twice. It's 4 in a row against big money favorites.
And they're, I think, 11-9 on the run line as an underdog. So, but I've got a $15 best bet on the website. And if you want to grab a long-term plan as well, you can check those out. And I wish everybody good luck today. And I'll see you guys next week. And make sure you check out Ron's Rundown. It'll be up every single day for the rest of the baseball season.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron. We'll see you on the Rundown.
All righty. Good luck.
Tomorrow and every day. Thanks for joining us. That was Ron Romanelli of pickdogs.com. And, of course, Ron's Rundown, which originally was called something else, and he changed the name, but that's okay. Anyways. Who's up? Joe Madden.
Yeah, in this time slot, I'm actually really liking it here. I It might sound like a homer pick because you guys know I love the Blue Jays, but I do think they get it done again today. I think they hit on Valdez nicely in this one. They've been so strong against left-handed pitchers. So I'm going to take the Blue Jays here. I agree with Ron with Miami. I think they have a prime opportunity to get a nice win here. I'd probably even look at them. Actually, not the run line because I do like the under in this one. I think this is a low-scoring one. I think it's going to be pretty tight here, 3-1 style game. I know that under is so low at 6.5, but I think we come in at that. And then give me the Milwaukee Brewers here on the run line with Coben Burns starting. He's got a 1.75 ERA and 25.2 innings pitched. And I think they can have a great day against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have just been completely struggling, going 8-22 in the last 30 meetings with Milwaukee. So give me the over as well. I like the over. I think we see runs out of the Brewers today, lots of them.
Brian?
Yeah, usually I'm not a favorites guy or a juice guy, but I'm going to jump on the Milwaukee Brewers, but probably at -2.5 here. I think with Corbin Burns on the mound, I think he can shut down the Cubbies. Marcus Stroman, you haven't seen the best out of him this year. I think the Brewers should be able to win this by 3. And then I'll take a small crack with the Houston Astros on the money line. They've been hurting me for the whole series probably. But with Valdez on the mound on the road, usually not a bad pitcher. I think he can keep the Blue Jays under wraps.
Jovan?
Yeah, so the Seattle-Miami game, I like the under first 5. I think we're gonna get a nice pitchers duel in this one. And for the side, for the full game, I like Logan Gilbert. I like the way he's coming out. The Mariners are 4-0 with him on the mound. I think he keeps that going. So lean towards the Mariners in that one.
How about you, Al?
I really like the under in this one. You can still find 7s. I mean, you'll have to lay a little bit of juice for it, but I would, I think, do that for the 7 rather than go 6.5 just in case. But I think it stays well under the number. Then I like Blue Jays -1, and for my pick on the Brewers and Cubs, you gotta go follow me on Twitter or Instagram. I like that play a lot. It's actually I've bet that quite a bit, as much, maybe even more than some of my premiums there.
All right. Twitter and IG. Al Ninos.
Yep.
What is your Twitter?
Albert Ninos.
Albert Ninos, all one word or underscore?
All one word.
All right. All one word, Albert Ninos.
Nothing fancy in there.
Nothing fancy about it. All right. You heard it there first. Albert Ninos. How about Twitter, Instagram? Same thing.
I believe it's the same. Yes.
Same. Wow. Look at you, social media Ninos.
Try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I might have to go follow him after the show here.
I'm going to follow him right now. Do I already follow you?
You guys don't follow each
I think
other?
you do on
You follow me?
Twitter.
I'm not sure.
You follow me?
I do on Instagram.
I follow you. I follow you.
I think
Betting
we do on
Badass?
Twitter. I think I got you on everything. Yeah, I got
Really?
you betting badass.
And I must follow you back.
Let me see if I don't know.
Well, I
think
hope
got
you do.
I know I got pick dogs. Let me see.
You don't follow Betting Badass?
What's your Instagram?
Pick Dogs?
Okay, yeah, I got the pick dogs one.
I don't have an IG. I just use the Pick Dogs. But for Twitter, I'm Betting Badass.
Yeah. I got
I just like saying it. I'm Betting Badass, by the way. All right. I like the Marlins here too against the Mariners. I like Logan Gilbert a lot, but the Marlins are just rolling. They've been covering the run lines too. I like the Marlins on the run line in this game against the Mariners. And Corbin Burns, you can't lay the run line here. There's really not much you can do here because of the ridiculous price. I'm not going to lay runs and odds. It's just makes no sense. If you're laying runs and odds, you're playing to lose, or to not. You're betting to not lose as opposed to playing to win, right? Because all you're trying to do is mitigate losses. right? I don't want to bet if I'm just mitigating losses. I want to win.
No, this
like,
one
I got.
open. Sorry. Go ahead.
What are you telling?
No, I'm sorry.
You got a problem?
No. You're making a good point, but though we did go over that yesterday. But I think this one did open with plus odds on the run line, didn't it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it did. Let me double check. I think I don't know. I don't think I know. I bet it yesterday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. It's being real slow. Yeah, they were plus. A decent little plus on the run line. No, it says negative. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I can't do negative odds on the run line.
Plus
It's
110 and better yesterday. Yeah.
It's against everything I believe in. And I'm not going to sway from it. I refuse. I would rather lay more runs.
Yeah, you could definitely do that in this spot too.
I need to have the Brewers. But I'm not going to lay runs and odds because you're not going to win more money. You're just mitigating losses. And I don't, I'm not going into a bet thinking that there's any probability that I'm going to lose. Why would I do that? Why would I bet it? Why would it be one of my best bets? The ones that I'm willing to bet. I mean, I got 2 NBA games. I got an NHL game. I've got 15 Major League Baseball games, sides, totals, first inning, props, all these other bets. Why would I bet something where it's like all I'm thinking about is cutting my losses if I happen to lose it? Why would I bet that? Doesn't make any sense at all. I want to win, man. I got to pay for this crap. You guys have seen my house, right? It's like this doesn't pay for itself, man. It's like got to make money somehow. It's like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen by losing less. I'll tell you that. It does not happen. To me, it's a straight avoid. Anyways, just it's my way of doing it. I know a lot of people do it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic. Why you would go into a bet trying to mitigate losses when your whole idea is to win money.
I see your point. My defense for that would be that, I mean, anything can happen. You expect a team to win by 10, they could end up just winning by 1. But the same way, anything can happen.
And I'll bet another game
they could lose, absolutely. And they could also lose by 1, just same way they could lose by 1.
But that's part of betting, and that's why there's all these games on the board. I would rather go to the ones that fit the value because it's a risk reward thing. And yeah, over the short term, it doesn't always work out for me. I know that. I had the Reds in that series against the Dodgers, right? I mean, I had them, right? So I own that, right? But at the same time, it's like, I know I continue to fade the Dodgers plus 345 yesterday. 3.5 games, all that whole Red series just went right over and out the window. The 2 losses to the Diamondbacks, out the window, right? All those games. That it happened that fast. You take yesterday's game, the 2 losses to the Diamondbacks, that's 8-9 Dodger wins. 8 wins of the Dodgers gone. It's like it doesn't make it to me. The math that has to add up. And to me, when the books put that out, it's like they're laughing. Brian, what's your opinion on it? I don't see you doing a lot of it.
No. I don't. I really try, as far as my premium picks go, I try not to lay juice at the games that I'm betting. I'd like to take the small dogs. That's what I look for on a baseball card. The plus 105s, the plus 110s.
We're talking about run lines and odds, laying runs and odds. I did a run line is to produce a higher payout.
I mean, I gave out the Milwaukee Brewers at minus 2.5, but at 2.5 you're getting plus money. So
right, plus
I
money.
think that's okay. But
plus
I try to avoid it at all costs.
No, it's different. If it's plus money and you're laying runs, well, then there's risk with reward. But if you're laying runs and odds, it's risk with risk, right? I mean, where's the reward? Where's the payoff?
Correct.
I'm getting a lower payout for taking a higher risk. I'm not into it. It's kind of like to me, the same as the teaser, multiple outcomes for a lower payout. I can't do it, man. It's just, I can't, my mind doesn't work that way. I can't process it, right?
That's
My thought process, I know that don't think the way that everybody else does. I understand that, right? I'm way outside the box. I know that, right? It's like, this is why I have no friends. But the thing is that, the thing is that it has to make sense to me. So multiple outcomes for a lower payout is not in my vocabulary. Okay. Laying runs to get a negative payout, I'd rather bet something else. I'd rather put the $100 in a slot machine and take a pull.
For looking at different bets, I agree with you. Same way I would like if there's a huge favorite in the NBA laying like more than say 6 or some points. I know Big Al said to him his cutoff is 11 in a playoff game or something like that. Everyone has their own like preference there, obviously. But going back to teasers real quick, same way, not all negative juice run lines are the same. I mean, not all teasers are the same either. If you do the right teasers, it is actually profitable if you tease them through the right numbers. If you get 2 teams and tease both of them through the right numbers, right? But if you're just randomly doing teasers, obviously, yeah, it's not a great idea. I just think there's certain spots where some things are worth doing, and other spots where it's a bit overpriced, obviously. But again, you can't do these things blindly. But sometimes I think it makes sense. No, you can't just do it every time, obviously, because if you do it every time in the long run, yes, probably you could find it anywhere that will show you that it's a bad idea.
You will lose money.
Yeah, if you do it on every single game, yes, every time, yes. But I think there are certain spots where it can make sense. And I mean, with teasers, it's a fact too. If you do certain teasers through key numbers, it's profitable. But again, you can't just go around doing them on every game.
Let's just take a look at how this has worked out over the last week. Okay, when we look at the run line the last week, Los Angeles Dodgers, you've lost money once again on the run line with the Dodgers. Houston Astros, Tampa Bay Rays, the Braves, defending World Series champion, Red Sox, smoked on the White Sox, the Rockies, you got crushed, Orioles, Tigers, Brian's Reds, and the worst team, as always, is the Chicago Cubs, right? The most overbet team in sports. And the Cardinals absolutely getting crushed too this week. Meanwhile, when we look at the money line, Reds, Cardinals, Orioles, Cubs, all the same teams getting crushed. And the Dodgers, you got smoked if you bet the Dodgers this week. Smoked. Crushed. You were better off betting the Pirates this week, even though you would have lost money. You would have lost less, which, Blue Jays smoked. Man, only so. This runs true too. All these people that say Dodgers every single day that I see in the YouTube comments. If you look at the profitable teams, almost every single week it comes out this way because I check it, all the time, and usually only like 10 to 12 of the 30 MLB teams profit for the week. So almost all the teams, if you bet the same team every game, you have a 65% chance of losing money, regardless of who it is.
And that's how they make the money, obviously. They're making money on the juice. I mean, whether you're taking the dog, it doesn't pay as much as the favorite, obviously, when you take the dog. So, I mean, how's always making money.
All right, we can talk
right.
Anyways.
Yeah, can't bet these teams every game.
Speaking about betting, what do you got for sale today, Al Ninos?
I have a 3-pack with my best NBA bet and 2 in the MLB, and then I got them individually as well if you're just into one sport, and a couple extra plays for everyone on the long-term passes.
Al Ninos up about 6 million units this month. Jovan, how about yourself? Jovan's steady Eddie, man. He's like always on the yearly leaderboards. He's always like poking onto the weeklies and monthlies. It's like he just kind of doesn't go away when it comes to that stuff. He's just very, very even, as far as like his winning. He's like some people go through the hot streaks and cold streaks, but Jovan seems to be more like a level, just winning across the board. What have you got today?
Yeah. Well, I'll just touch on that. This year, yeah, it's I just been doing yeoman's work basically, and it's been paying off. Last year, I had a volatile year. Had a lot of highs, and some lows as well. I was on some real heaters last year, but the cold spots were there too. But I like being on the year leaderboards and all that. So it's up for the year. But anyway, got a 3-pack. My Shut 'em Down Sunday NBA playoff 3-pack, and then I have a 5-pack with those 3 NBA plays and 2 additional MLB plays. So 3-pack $39.99, 5-pack $49.99.
Brian?
Off a winning day yesterday, I got my super sharp 3-pack. It includes my NBA best bet along with 2 Major League Baseball plays that look like they should be big-time money makers. Make sure you check it out at pickdogs.com, premium picks.
Joe Madden?
I have a 3-pack today. 1 in the MLB, or no, sorry, 2 in the MLB. Nope, backwards. 2 in the NBA, 1 in the MLB. I was thinking of one of my absolutely bets that I'm going to put out later, you guys. So stay tuned for that as well. But head on over to Pick Dogs for that 3-pack. Had another sweep yesterday, going 3-0 yesterday, 5-0 on Friday. So looking to keep it going today.
I have a 3-pack yesterday. Yesterday was 3-2, but up 200, whatever. Based on, if you bet 100 a game, you're up 200 because I take the dogs and run lines and stuff. But if you bought my 3-pack, you went 3-0 or plus whatever. Is the 2 picks I added after the fact that both lost, and I got, for the second time in 3 days, I got greedy laying the run line for the extra payout. Speaking of the negative odds versus plus odds, Colorado, that solo shot by the Reds in the 8th got me. It was 4-2 Rockies. I had the run line covered and put one in the seats for the Reds. So 4-3, I lose. Happened to me with Toronto the other day too. I had two of those in 3 days, and those are going to happen. But you can make up the difference. But I have a 3-pack today, and I got an NBA solo pick too. Always better to get my longer term packages because you get a lot of extra picks, and today's no different. So I have a 3-pack, I have NBA, but I have other picks too. So yesterday, if you got the other picks, they weren't good, but most days, they're better or good. Yeah. Anyways, back to business here. Corbin frickin' Burns. We got the Chicago White Sox versus the LA Angels. The White Sox getting a win yesterday. Man, some serious weather going on there in Chicago. And a hideous. I mean, I'm a White Sox fan. And that was really one of the worst called strikes threes you will ever see to end the Angels rally. It would have been if the ball was so outside. Even Graveman was laughing, the pitcher. He was even laughing at that they called it a strike and he got punched out on it. This would have been the scenario. A 4-0 game, bases loaded, 2 outs, Mike Trout at the plate would have been the scenario if they call that a ball, which it was way outside. So there was some I think there's some magic words said there.
Money on the game, you think?
Umpire want to go home?
It's who's the official sports book of the Chicago White Sox, because Illinois is a betting state, right? So but anyways, White Sox Angels, Dallas Keuchel on the mound here, and then you got Daniel Lynch against Luis Severino in Kansas City, and Cardinals versus Diamondbacks. It's been all Diamondbacks, and Brian's boy Zach Davies on the mound for the D-backs. His favorite, one of his favorites. He's in Brian's platoon stable.
Zach Davies isn't in my platoon.
Really? I thought he was one of your guys.
I don't think so. If he is, I'm throwing him out. He's not a guy of mine anymore. He's out of the group.
Vince got it done for you yesterday.
Six shutout innings yesterday for Vince, something like that.
It was an ungodly set of circumstances.
No, he gets those. He throws like that once out of every 4 or 5 games.
He looks
inconsistent pitcher.
he looks like he could throw a no-hitter on any given day. He has the best form of any pitcher in baseball. I mean, he just looks like he's, when he throws a baseball, he just really has it together. Anyways, we got those three. Joe, what do you think?
You know what? I'm going to take a chance on the Kansas City Royals here with Lynch coming up. I just love the plus value here. And we know the Yankees can fall. They've won the first 2 games, but I think in this third game, I think there's value here with Kansas City. I just think they have one of their best pitchers up and they should be able to get it done. And then give me the LA Angels and the under in that game. I'm not seeing the White Sox getting the runs in this one. So I think the Angels can pull it off.
Brian?
Yeah, I got 2 plays in the same game as far as freebies go. I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks, St. Louis Cardinals to go over the posted total. I see it's a bullpen game for the Cardinals. Zach Davies really not in my stable of pitchers. I think both teams can put up some runs, but I think it stays within 1 run. So I'll take the Diamondbacks plus the 1.5 here.
And Jovan.
Yeah, I'm on the Angels. Think Dallas Keuchel has a rude awakening today. Think he's gonna give up a few. The Angels bat 265 versus lefties, so that's what I'm on. I'm on the Angels.
Al Niños.
Yeah, Smalley the Angels, and maybe the over in the Cardinals Diamondbacks game. Maybe the over in the Yankees Kansas game after a low scoring game yesterday too.
I like the yes run first inning in the Yankees Royals game for sure with Lynch out there. I think the yes run first inning seems to be the way to go. I mean, people love the Nerfy, but I like the other one. I like the yes run first inning because most good pitchers, if they're going to give it up, they give it up early. And they're going to get hit. They get hit early. And like I said yesterday, the Nerfy is counterintuitive to the way most people bet. Most people love the favorite and the over. They love the favorite. They love the over. That's why Bittler is on the underdog and the under all the time because he knows that most of the squares, the bad money is on the other side. So most of the value is on the other side. And it's fine. It's a good strategy. They're 50-50, underdogs and favorites. It's just finding the right ones. That's really what it is. And over under is about 50-50. It's just finding the right ones. And you could see them, you kind of, all you got to do is go on Twitter, right? And see who all the Twitter cappers have. And you just bet the other side. I mean, it's super easy,
I think Daniel Lynch might be one of my guys though now. So I think you might be throwing Lynch under the bus. He's looked pretty competent this season so far. So I don't know. I'm not knocking your no runs in the first inning or runs in the first. I just like Daniel Lynch. He's not that bad.
I think we're going to see runs in the first inning. I think it's going to be by the Yankees. I just think that most people bet the over, yet at the same time, they love the Nerfy. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're betting that that games are going to go over, but you think there's going to be no runs in the first inning when most of the best pitchers, and even really go all the way back to the best pitchers of all time, if you're going to get them, you got to get them early. And that is what it is the golden rule, that once a Max Scherzer settles in, forget it, man. Just take a seat. Just don't even bother coming up to the plate because you don't have a chance against you. Greg Maddux was the same way, man. And so was Glavine was even worse. Glavine was like first inning. If you're going to get him, you get him for 1 or 2 runs in that first inning. That was your chance. If not, he's going to settle in and you have no chance. Don't even bother. Remember, Glavine is like, oh my God. It's like you get him like in the 3rd or 4th inning. It's like he's in the groove. It's like no chance at all. But so the Nerfy to me seems to be another bet that the books have put out there where they found that the public leans to the no run first inning side. So there's a strong angle to the other side of it. So I'm going to say yes run first inning in most of the games is the way to go. I like the yes run first inning in that one.
I think the books love that bet because I mean, isn't it? I don't usually bet it a lot, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about it too much. I mean, I don't usually bet it at all, to be honest. But it's the type of bet that they can just juice ridiculously to one side when I mean it's obvious. Like if you got two aces going at it, the no run first inning will be juiced like crazy. If there's two bad pitchers, the yes runs will be juiced. And of course, again, like they'll take any bet like that if they're not paying as much on one side as the other. So obviously they love any bet. They'll take any bet, and especially these. I think. I mean, again, I stay away from them, but
we've been giving out a lot of these yes run first innings on our shows in the morning during the week too, and I think we've hit every single one of them.
And you're also always facing the best batters in the lineup when you're going first inning. So I mean, again, it's just not a bet I make. So
no, it's like it just seems that like the other day. We had the Giants and the Nationals, right? And I said, yes, run first inning in that game. And I was thinking Anibal Sanchez was going to get hit, but actually it went the other way, right? It was yes, run first inning before there was even an out, it's like, and it's, you see this often, that if you're going to get to a guy, you got to get him right out of the gate. Cause like you'll see tonight, once Scherzer settles in, oh man, he's nasty. We know that.
Yeah, he sure can be. There it is.
Texas Rangers coming off the win, taking on the Atlanta Braves. It's not Max Fried today. Fried's pitching tomorrow. We got Kyle Freeland up against the Reds. 0-14 against the West for the Cincinnati Reds. I think Bitler's been on him for 11 of those. And
I haven't had them as a premium in a long time. The Reds, I can't.
They're so dead to me. They're dead.
They're not. No team's ever dead to me.
Well, they're dead. Let's just say they're in intensive care. We got
dead.
Giants against the Nationals. So the Nationals got the best of them the other night. The Giants yesterday, after the Nationals had the lead, started celebrating, and then the Giants took offense to it. There's a sign that some woman had in the crowd I saw during the game yesterday, the Giants game. This woman said, "For my 101st birthday, I want to meet Brandon Crawford." But I did not see him go over there to her or anything like that. She was 101 at the Giants game. She had a sign that said, "For my 101st birthday, I want to meet Brandon Crawford." I don't know whatever happened with that. Joe is muted. She's talking now.
That's okay. I'm sorry. I just said I hope that she got to meet him after the game.
Yeah, I hope so too. Just throwing it out there. Anyways,
and I really hope I don't live that old. Wow.
Mitch, I'll have to get
anyway, that's my 2 cents of the day.
What do you think of these three games, Joe? Rockies, Reds, Giants, Nationals, and Rangers, Bravos.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean on the San Francisco Giants here. I think we can lean on them on the run line too with Alex Cobb. I think we got a lower scoring one though. So it's always stressful when you take those run lines in a lower scoring, but I could see this being a 4-2 style game. So give me the under and the Giants there, and then give me the Braves. I think they come out strong. I just can't trust Texas. They've just been struggling way too much, struggling at home and offensively not getting the runs in that they need to beat the Braves here today. So give me the Atlanta Braves.
Brian?
Yeah, I love Joe. I hate to be the opposite of her, but Taylor Hearn has been atrocious. But I think this is going to be a Braves bullpen game with Muller starting it out here. I just think the Rangers keep it rolling here, get another W against the Braves, or at least their second W. And I'm going to take a chance with the Washington Nationals. I think that's the better bet of the two. I like Josiah Gray. He let me down against the Marlins, but I think Alex Cobb will be lucky to go for 4 innings, maybe 5 here. I think the Nationals can get upset.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brian loves Joe until it comes down to the green card. Anyways, because
doesn't love me that much, Mitch.
Joe's proposed on numerous occasions, and Brian has shot her down. She even said she would sleep on the couch.
We're both wearing Charger stuff. I don't know what's going on here, Brian. Just Won't bend.
I mean, she's pretty
That
much
might be the
lead.
problem.
I mean, she's made it clear she's done really what she can. You know, he sent. Well, I sent the 24 roses.
Well, I'm glad it was you. Being kind of a mystery working out who sent me roses. So
I don't know who it was. We'll get to the bottom of it. Anyways, Mills, welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Good to be here on this good old blessed Sunday.
Morning. We're just ripping through some baseball here. We're up to Jovan on this one, though. Jovan, what do you got with these three?
Yeah, so I'm on the Reds and the Rockies to go over. Get some runs over on this game with two pitchers that haven't been performing. Both 0-3, both high ERAs. Even though the wind is blowing in at 6 miles an hour, but don't much care about that. Not for this game, at least. And I'm agree with Brian. I was looking at this one with, give me the Washington Nationals with Josiah Gray on the mound. I like his stuff. He hasn't put it all together, but as long as he don't give up the long ball, he should be okay.
El Niños?
Yeah, I thought it'd be on the Giants, but I think I like the Nationals. I think they're a lot better than what they've been playing this year, and Cobb hasn't really been pitching too well, so I think they're a live dog here. And I like the Braves as well. Can't be crazy about the starting pitcher, but I'm not crazy about Hearn either, so I like the Braves lineup a lot better.
Yeah, Josiah Gray is one of those guys, it's like we're just waiting for him to explode onto the scene, but it just hasn't really happened yet. It's like when you trade Trey Turner and Max Scherzer for a guy, you expect that maybe he's going to be very, very good. But, last time out against Miami, who's blistered everybody, really, as Romanelli was saying, 5.2 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks in the bomb. 98 pitches. So we are seeing him stretched out. Last year, we did not see that from him, where they stretched him out to, almost 100 pitches. So, maybe he finds it. But until that happens, I'm got to take the Giants here. I'm going to lay the 2.5 because I'm not going to lay runs and odds. We already talked about this. Mills, anything? We're up to the second to last set of games in Major League Baseball. Anything? Well, we'll come back.
Yeah, no, definitely. Talking about the Atlanta Braves, I like Kyle Mueller. Pretty much last year he came out, had a strong start to his first 2 starts. After that, couldn't get out of the innings no more. So a nice prospect that I like coming out for the Braves. On top of that, the bats are coming back live, as you see out here with the Braves. So I would be leaning them. Josiah Gray, you guys hit it dead on the point, man. Washington Nationals, I'm going to be looking at him over his K-prop. Over his K-prop, he's been real effective with it. I actually think that that's one of those pitchers that needs to get with like a real established a real established team to actually get the best of his pitching and everything like that. I do think that he has starter stuff, ace stuff to be that. So I'll be looking at Josiah Gray over his K-prop. And then I am going to be taking the Atlanta Braves some way, somehow in that game as well.
All right. I'm waiting for Josiah Gray to come out of it. I don't know. I just can't do it. Can't get there. Reds are just dead to me. They're just straight dead to me. The probability of the Rangers winning 2 games in a row is so slim. So slim. They win 33% of the time, so back-to-back wins is like very low probability, and the payout's not there, especially with Taylor Hearn. I like the yes runs first inning in that game too, with Hearn, and I like what are some good we'll have to look for some good Braves home run props. Hearn loves to give up the long ball. I haven't seen long balls hit like that in Texas since Jordan Lyles last was on the mound there.
You leave Jordan Lyles alone.
Well, you get another one of your guys. Another guy who gives up a ton of home runs is pitching in Oakland. James Caprillion back in the fold. This guy gives up the bombs up against Tristan McKenzie's super high ceiling guy. He's on my list of guys that I like. We got Walker Buehler trying to lick their wounds there in Los Angeles. Even if the Dodgers win this game, if you back the Dodgers every game this series against the Tigers, you have lost money. And the Mets versus the Phillies. Max Scherzer up against Zach Eflin. And to me, this one looks like the Phillies just said, you know what? We're not going to win this game anyway. Let's just get Eflin's turn out of the way. Joe?
Eflin hasn't been bad. Eflin hasn't been bad. Look at his numbers. His ERA is like 3.54 or something like that.
He's up against Max Scherzer on a night game and at home coming off of a loss. Good luck. That's what I say. Best of luck to you. It was nice. Thanks for coming. We've got some excellent parting gifts for you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't see the Mets losing again today. They did me dirty yesterday, though, so it's one that's not going to hit my card, but I think the Mets bounce back, have a nice win with Max up here. And I think we got a lower scoring one. I'm going to take the under in this game. And then give me Cleveland here. I think this is going to be an easy game for them. They played so well against Oakland. I was actually shocked that we're getting them at minus 120. I think, again, we have a lower scoring game in this one as well. The unders trended so solid with these two teams. In Oakland, it's gone 25-10-1 in those last 36 meetings. So give me the under 7.5 as well.
Caprillion's pitching. Brian?
I think we should be okay.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm going to take a shot with Tristan McKenzie. I like his ceiling. I like the way the Guardians are playing. The A's seem to be playing a little bit down. Caprillion, he's not one of my guys. I think he'll get toasted early in this one. So just a strong lean to the Guardians. And then you guys talked me into taking the Phillies here. I didn't have them written down here to take. But I think we see 5-6 strong innings for Scherzer. I think when it goes to the Mets bullpen, the Phillies bats, I like what I saw yesterday. I think they win this one late 3-2 in a low scoring affair. I'll take the Phillies.
Mills?
I'm kind of agreeing on the Tristan McKenzie side. I had a future on him last year to win Rookie of the Year. Didn't come close at all. But that's one guy that I think actually, I actually could get behind him back. Not coming off with a hot start this year, 0-2, 3.7 ERA, 1.12 whip. Not really that great. But one thing I'm looking at again, I love me some K, so I'll be looking at his K prop in this game right here. Caprillion, like you said, can't trust that guy. Can't trust the Oakland A's farther than you could throw him. Cleveland, they are, I think, on a 2-game winning streak. Don't take it for what it's worth, but hey, give me the Cleveland Guardians right here. And then that last game that you guys are talking about, the Mets and the Phillies, I have a premium on that. Can't speak too much, but I do like Scherzer over 7.5 Ks as well.
Jovan?
Yeah, so Eduardo Rodriguez hasn't been pitching so good. I kind of expected that, him getting the big contract. So, I think he's going to get pounded in the Dodgers roll. So, get that 2.5 runs on the Dodgers. Don't just take them run line, take them 2.5 on that one. You might be able to get them you might be able to push it up to 3.5, get some some better plus money. And Scherzer rolls against Philly, so I would I don't know if I could raise it up to 2.5, but definitely on the run line with the Mets tonight.
El Niños.
Yeah, these maybe go with Guardians. I don't know, Dodgers, man. Maybe team total over for the Dodgers, 4.5. And then the under in the Mets game. Mets Phillies under.
El Niños, you're a Dodger fan, right?
Correct.
Woohoo! What happened last night? boy.
Yeah, well, it happens. It happens.
Everywhere I went, all I heard is Kershaw Day, jersey on, Kershaw, record, strikeouts, doesn't lose us at home. I seen it 1-1 in the 7th. I'm out eating at Lazy Dog. The next thing you know, I look up, it's like 5-1. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that looked close for a while, but as you said, yeah, it did go downhill fast. It's tough. You can't win every game. As Mitch said earlier, you're going to lose 60. And so I don't bet those minus 300s. I mean, as much as I like my favorites, I can't do the minus 300s.
I agree. I actually had some degenerate parlays with them with UFC. I took the Detroit Tigers plus 1.5 and got plus money, and I did an alternate line plus 2.5. So yeah, I was loving that the Dodgers was tied in the 7th. So yeah.
I did recommend the -2 on the show, but again, that was around -127 if I remember correctly. So I'd rather take a shot, lay some runs, lose less juice, or preferably lose no juice when you're doing that. But yeah, I don't mind laying a little bit of juice if I have to. Much rather lose the -127 than the -340 or whatever the hell it was.
All right. Mills, you joined us late, so anything that on the board that in the NBA or
Yep, I got a little prop I'm gonna be looking at in the Milwaukee game. I'm gonna be looking at Giannis over his rebounds. It's over at 12.5 rebounds. You can shop around for the best line out there. When it comes down to it, man, no Middleton out there, so I look for him to just get at least 3 to 4 more rebounds because Chris Middleton usually averages about 4 rebounds per game. With that being said, Giannis knows it's all on him. You guys thought you seen MVP Giannis before? Wait till you see what's in store right now, man. You got the Boston Celtics -200 favorite to win the series against the champions. I don't think Giannis is going to go out that light like that. So I'm definitely going to be looking at Giannis over 12.5 rebounds in that game. And then going on to the next game that we got, man, it's going to be a banger, man. Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant versus Steph Curry, Jordan Poole and the boys. So in that game right there, I'll just give you one little player prop that I like. Ja Morant over assists. He's been over. He's hit that prop. I want to say the last 3 times that I played it. It should be at 7.5. If it's even at 8.5 at plus money, I still recommend to take that as well. So those are my 2 player props to get you on top.
All right. Anyone have any props or parlays for today's action?
I got a parlay ready to go.
All right.
For my double dog parlay, just a two-team parlay. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Phillies money line and Washington Nationals together.
For myself, I'm going to take Miami on the run line and the Padres on the run line.
Anyone else?
Seattle, Miami, under first 5. Reds, Colorado, over. And Dodgers, -2.5.
I like the Bucks plus the points with Tigers and the Orioles.
Hey, Brian, what's your best dog of the day?
Well, that would probably be in my premium pick section. But as far as free picks go, boy, I really like the Washington Nationals today as far as free picks. I like Josiah Gray. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up then. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to try like crazy to act more professional tomorrow. We got a short card, so I like my chances. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.